Hello, everyone out there. Just wanted to make a video, just say hello. Um, Got my caffeine, sweatshirt on. Yo, hurrah! Go caffeine. Um, need it every morning. Not every morning, but most mornings. I usually drink one or two cups of coffee, black, no sugar, no cream. Sometimes I'll add a little bit of Premier Protein shake into my coffee in the mornings. Usually coffee flavor. Um, I don't know. I just started making content 5 6 days ago. I'm real new to YouTube, so I don't have any subscribers. I've watched some YouTubes in the last 8 9 10 years, and I just I don't know anything like they do. A lot of them are younger kids that are just like millennials that are uh, super advanced with technology nowadays, and I'm like 51, so uh, you know I'm a little dated, but I try to keep up with the times. I know a little bit. I keep up with some stuff. Yeah, I know a little bit about the economy, some finance stuff, some crypto stuff, crypto mining, gaming, stuff like that. I know some stuff like that. I've been to lots of concerts, experienced lots of different things, had lots of ups and downs in life, lots of, highs and lows. Usually, most of my videos are outside. Obviously, I do most of my walking videos. Um, I moved here, I don't know, 9 10 months ago. I'm in Duluth, Minnesota, and I'm kind of in my man cave area right now. So usually I don't film inside, but I'm downstairs. I have the lower level of the house that's mine, and it's kind of, I call it my man cave. I apologize. My allergies have been acting up the last 2 3 weeks with the fires. The Greenwood fires are going pretty strong now. They actually extended to 26,000 acres have burned. It's about 12:30 in the morning on the 27th of August 2021, and since I last posted a video of some walk that I did today. I walked from near downtown, not in downtown, but near the eastern side of Duluth, near the downtown border. Walked down Fourth, mainly down the alleyway in between Third and Fourth, just to avoid traffic. So it was easier for the YouTube people to hear me, and walked down roughly from like probably Third and Third. Around that area, Third and Fourth, to all the way down Fourth to about 19th. Cut up 19th by Sarah's Table, the gourmet breakfast place, and VIP Pizza. Cut up through there all the way to UMD. Took some film of the UMD. Excuse me, the one side of the campus. Didn't really go through the whole campus. I'm not a UMD alum. I don't really know about the university too much. I just know what I've heard about, and I know they're a powerhouse in hockey. They've got a good university up here. They're very expensive for out of state tuition. I know it's equivalent to a expensive private school, or something like that. But it's great education up here. You know can't frown on that. But yeah, I'm just here just to talk, just to fill up some content, some gaps, some space, just to get on YouTube. And I'm new to YouTube. I'm not YouTube ready. I'm not monetizing. Eventually I hope to be, but I'm in the infancy of YouTube, so I'm just trying to put as much content out as possible, whether it's 1 2 3 4 5 videos a day. I don't really know right now. I'm going to try to do as much as I can. Usually Monday through Friday, I can pump out a video or two. I'm not working right now. It's an awkward situation. Really don't know how to explain it. I've worked my whole life since I was 15, 16 years old. Went to college, finished college, was a high school teacher, um, coached sport, was a substitute teacher before that, and then when I got out of that, I was a restaurant manager for a cafeteria chain in Texas. They're big in Texas, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Oklahoma. They're called Lubies. I worked for them for about 2 or 3 years. I know all the days. Mike, Patrick, Harold, all the days. They are influential figureheads in the Lubies company, and worked my way up the ladder. I worked my way up from fourth to a third, and then I was about to get promoted to an associate manager. They wanted me to move to a different state, kind of a little bit out in the boondocks from where DFW was. So kind of turned that down, and they kind of upped my hours. So I kind of didn't really want to stick with that for too much longer. I was working about 70 to 78 hours a week, and it was kind of a beating. It was really hard on the body, even when I was in my mid late 20s. Great company. Back then, they offered a very weird incentive that not many companies offered. It was like a share incentive. If you're an associate manager, I think you get 3% of the total net earnings of the restaurant. If you're a GM, you get 6%. And the stores in San Antonio and Houston, the GMs were netting, $250,000 to 350 grand a year, and the associates were, netting half that. And then the ones in Dallas were about three quarters of that, half to three quarters. So, that's a pretty big incentive if you stay with the company. You learn your way up the ladder. They teach you everything from ground level. You have to learn how to butcher. You have to learn how to bake. You have to learn how to do vegetable table. I can't even tell you how many times I cut my hands. I had to take a couple kids to the hospital that cut off their fingers. It was, I've seen so much. It was unbelievable. It's craziness. But, I worked at a bunch of different stores. I worked in Oak Cliff, in Dallas. I worked in Greenville. I worked in Arlington. Yeah, I've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly. I've seen every racial profile come in. I've seen every type that wants free food. You name it. I had some really strict GMs and managers, but they kind of shaped me into the individual I am. I had a manager, Camille. He was pretty strict with me, and another one from A&M. He knows who he is. He's still kind of hanging on with the company right now, and he's a great man. But yeah, a lot of learning lessons. I'll tell you that. The lessons in life you learn along the roadways to growing up. But I did high school teaching, so substitute teaching and high school teaching, just to fill you into my background a little bit. I was a coach as well, and that didn't really pan out too much. I was hoping a little bit more from my students, my kids, than what I was getting. And yeah, when I went to high school, I went to a couple different high schools, and the sport that I competed in was, back then it was pretty demanding, and they demanded a lot out of me. And I tried to do that with my kids, and wasn't getting it. I got it from one or two of them, but the other 90% of them, they weren't having, any strict discipline or anything like that. So yeah, I kind of bailed out of that after a couple of years, and I wasn't trying to be a disciplinarian. I was just trying to get them motivated to, progress and hopefully go to college and compete. But I only had maybe one or two that could do that, and I was trying to get, four or five or six or seven of them that could, but they weren't having that. So, but learning lessons along the way of life, like anything. But I did other jobs here and there, customer service. Worked for T-Mobile for 4 or 5 years, doing advanced tech support, and learned about computers and stuff like that. And kind of got me interested in the tech industry, but I kind of got a little burnt out on it after a little bit. But then I got into massage therapy, and because I got a lot of massages growing up, I was always in pain from all the impact that I did from athletics. I did a lot of athletics from about the age of 6, 7, all the way up until 23, 24. So yeah, I had a lot of pain here and there working out. I must put in, I don't know, 2, 3, 4, 5 hours a day, 5, 6 days a week for, I can't even imagine, 20 years, maybe more. So, you get sore. You get sore when you're putting, I mean, even when you're young, like Biles, the wonderful African American gymnast. She's just, a phenom. She's got all these extra, phenomenal tricks she can do that other people can't. But she's at the point where she's in her, I don't know, mid 20s or late 20s, and she can't really do it anymore because her body won't let her, And she's kind of like I was, I just, you can only do so much. You only push your body to so much. And when you're not huge, like Caleb Dressel, Michael Phelps, you're not 6'5", 6'6", 6'7", you're not a phenom. I'm 5'9.5", so I was about 160 to 170 when I was competing in college. And when I was in high school, I was probably mid 150s to low 160s. I hadn't put on the muscle mass. I was just real lean. I did outrigging in the Marina Del Rey with a bunch of friends of mine on the Hawaiian outrigging crew. I did water polo for a couple of years, and when I got further along in high school, I wasn't allowed to do water polo anymore because it was messing up my stroke. So I was strictly all swimming, and just kind of learned how to do different things through high school. Weights, didn't know anything about weights until I was in high school. Started lifting a lot of weights. Got into college, lifted weights. So luckily I was able to get a good education, get a good couple degrees. Like I said, I taught for a little while, was in restaurant management, and then got into massage therapy. And I did that for about 20 years. I did massage therapy for about 20 years. Worked for a couple different spas. Later in life, I worked for Massage Envy, and I worked at several spas in the DFW area. I worked at one of the busiest ones in Dallas, Old Town, and I think they're the second most busiest in the United States. I think there's one on Cherry Street or something in Denver, Colorado, or in Colorado somewhere. That's the number one store, and we were the number two store for volume. Lots of really knowledgeable people there. Lots of really good people, and I miss it a lot. I really do. I left there during COVID in March. I miss everybody up there very much. But hopefully maybe one of them will see this video. Life goes on. I'm in Minnesota now. I moved up here, and I'm still not working. I wish I was. I had unemployment till, I don't know, the end of that year, and I had to call them and let them know that I was moving and resigning and cancel my unemployment. So I haven't made any money in 2021. So it's disappointing because I've been making money since I was 15 or 16. Never was rich. I had lots of college debt and credit card debt. I actually managed to pay off about 5, 6, 7 years ago, and so that's really a nice feeling when you get that uh, taken care of. You get an enormous weight lifted off your shoulders. So that's just me, kind of in a nutshell. I was just filling everybody in on me, my life, and kind of up to that. I've traveled a lot. I lived in, I don't know, maybe 10, 11, 12 different states growing up. My parents were divorced when I was about 5 in 1975, and I relocated to LA. I lived in a lot of different states, though. My mom traveled, my dad traveled, but he met someone, and he was working for IBM, settled down out in Los Angeles. They were both branch managers at the time, and my dad eventually got into acting and got in some soap operas, Days of Our Lives, Young and the Restless. And then he also did a realtor position where he flipped homes. And I think he has one of his minors or one of his majors was in architecture, so he learned how to design homes and he fixed up homes and we remodeled homes. We lived in them for a short period of time, moved onto a different home, and he flipped them, made profit off each one, and we used to have wonderful time. Grew up in the San Fernando Valley, moved to Malibu, Marina Del Rey. Went to high school out there. I'm not really going to say what high school I went to, but I went to several high schools. I knew Ricky Schroeder growing up from Silver Spoons. I went to high school with him for a short period of time. Went to another high school. Went to 300 different high schools, and I'm very familiar with the LA area. I grew up in San Fernando Valley, but I know the whole LA area. Um, Lived there from between 75 and 88. I traveled, lived with my mom too, so I lived in different states. Yeah, I lived in Hershey, Pennsylvania, Raleigh, North Carolina. I lived in North Carolina. I lived in Lexington twice, Lexington, Kentucky. I lived in Memphis, Tennessee, and Bartlett, short period of time. Grandparents lived outside of Crossville, which is near Knoxville, Tennessee. So I went up there a lot. They're past. My mom's about 70, about to be 77. My dad's about to be 79. I saw my dad last week or 2 weeks ago. He came up to visit me and to the Duluth, Minnesota area. He's residing in Florida. My mother's in Arizona. Most snowbirds, older retirees, usually live in Arizona or Florida. So that's where they live. It's a little bit cheaper than California. California is the place to be. LA's, the best area to live in, I think. San Francisco as well, but, Santa Cruz, I've got a friend from high school up there, but luckily he was able to get his home, I don't know, 20 years ago, 15, 20 years ago when it was cheap, and now it's, like everything's gone up like tenfold. So I think his house is worth $1 million, but I don't know. I haven't talked to him in a year. But I still have some friends from Los Angeles. I don't talk to them very much anymore. It's weird. You grow on in life and you don't talk to people as much as you used to. You move on, and everybody's got their own family, their own kids or grandkids as they get older, and their own jobs, responsibility, bills, you name it, and everything. The focus is on them. So it's their own health and try to take care of themselves and live as long as they can. Have the best life that they can have, and that's totally understandable. So we're making YouTube and we're making content and just getting out there, just saying hello to everybody. Just talking and showing face, see what's out there. Um, so I don't know how to do the comment thing, but hopefully I can get people to comment. Um, I think I did some walking videos. Usually I do walking videos because I'm on like kind of a weight journey. Um, trying to get my weight down into the high 170s. So, and it doesn't come easy. I mean, like weight fluctuates when you get old. I mean, you have to put a lot of work into keeping your weight down. Um, it's not easy. You got to stay very active. I'm 5'9.5". Right now, I'm probably about 195, 196. So I'm overweight. I'm 16, 17, 18 pounds overweight. I've got a lot of visceral fat right around here. It's not a good place to have it. Not a healthy place. But got to work on getting that down. I look like I'm gigantic, but I'm not. I'm just kind of a big upper chest, big shoulder guy because I did a lot of athletics when I was younger. But yeah, I think we were talking about music, and I was talking about different bands, and I pulled up something on the screen here for different bands. But we were talking about the Scorpions, and it looks like they've been around since 1965. God, didn't know that. Did not know that at all. They've been around since 1965. I was a fanboy, and like I said on my last video, and I was in the Scorpions fan club in 79, 80, and 81. So Klaus Menden sent me a lot of pictures and, the instant autograph ones. I don't think he did himself, but, I was a big fan of Dio. I had all their cool art, Holy Diver and the cool Dio writing on some posters in my wall. And I know they were around from early 80s, 82 to 2010. And, that's just sad. Ronnie James Dio died. It's just unbelievable. All these super famous, unbelievably, you know, mega stars, that just passed away. I mean, it's heartbreaking. I mean, Dio, his voice, Ronnie James it was just epic. I mean, he was just powerful. It just Nine Inch Nails. I saw them live. I saw them in Dallas. God, they're incredible. They've been around since '88. I mean, can you believe that? That's when I graduated high school. But I saw them in the early '90s, and yeah, I mean that they were just Trent Reznor and them. They were just incredible. I mean, I can't even tell you how incredible they were. But there's so many bands I have not seen. I like so much genre of music. I like anything that's '80s. You know, um, I like new wave. This is totally weird. I know. I like Grateful Dead. I like metal. Um, I like new wave. I know it's so weird, but that's the time I grew up. So I went to dances and stuff like that. So that music that came out in the '80s was just like you can't replicate it. I mean, anything that came out of the '80s that's like dance music or Depeche Mode. I just love Depeche Mode. I've seen them, and they're just incredible. I mean, Pet Shop Boys I went and saw. And you're like, oh, that's gay. It doesn't matter. I like the electric music. It's got a pounding, relentless beat. It's almost like rap. It's just like it keeps flowing. And you can't deny it. And it's just, I'm Deep Purple. I saw them. I saw Steppenwolf, um, Dallas Alley, um, Queensryche. They've been around since '82. I've seen them. They're an incredible band. I've never seen Tool. I wish I had. Um, I've never seen Linkin Park. I wish I had. I've seen Kiss. I've seen them about 3 or 4 times. I've seen them a bunch without makeup and with makeup. I've never seen Zepp. Lord knows how many times I've listened to Zepp 1, 2, and 3, and 4. I mean, probably the best rock band ever, you know. I mean, Grateful Dead's great, you know, and a lot of other bands are great. But Zeppelin, I mean, it's hard to beat, you know. I mean, just the music that they came up with. I mean, every song on every album, one through four, was just it was just unbelievable. Um, you know, there's just Guns N' Roses. I said I saw when I earlier on a video. I said I saw Van Halen and Metallica at the Texas Stadium. It wasn't. It was Guns N' Roses and Metallica that I saw at Texas Stadium. It was Metallica, Van Halen, Kingdom Come, Scorpions, and Dokken that I saw at Monsters of Rock in '88. That's even before my daughter was born in '90. Um, I saw Steel Wheels tour with Charlie Watts, you know, as the drummer who died 3 days ago at the age of 80. I saw them in '89 before my daughter was born. I've never seen System of a Down. There's so many other hard rock metal bands. I know my friend Joe from college. He does podcasts, and he's podcasted a lot of famous people. I went with him in Dallas for a podcast. We did, I think, Rascal Flatts and a couple other bands. We did some shtick with them and asked them funny questions, you know, that most people wouldn't ask, but you know, we thought we'd be off the wall and kind of ask them funny questions, which was kind of entertaining. That was, I don't know, late '90s, early 2000s, but he did another podcast with Anthrax and got to meet them and Scott Ian and all them and stuff, and then Pantera. When I moved to Dallas in '88, '89. I was a guitar player, learned how to play guitar in the mid to late 80s, probably about 85, 86, when I got turned on to a lot of classic. I started playing guitar, I think around 84, 85, and I just played all the time. I did everything. I outrigged, I surfed, played water polo, I swam, I, you name it. I lifted weights, I watched music. I played guitar. I did, you know, listen to music all the time. I didn't watch any TV. I just, you know, I just try to learn everything I could. But when I moved to Dallas, I joined a classical group at a junior college, and I met a bunch of really talented musicians. And one afternoon we went. It was an interesting story. I don't think I've only said this story once or twice, but we ended up, a friend of mine in Arlington, um, we went over to a group of his friends in Arlington, had a little garage, and they had set up, we had a couple beers, and it just so happened, turned out they were Pantera. And I didn't know. This is it, 1980, end of '88, beginning of '89, and so I got to play some, you know, licks and a few, you know, chords, and listen to how, you know, how hardcore they were, and what they were pumping out, and how good they were, and I was kind of blown away. I don't know if they were playing me Cowboys from Hell, or what they were, you know, I was in the infancy of something, you don't know, you know, so you're just kind of just blown away by how good people are. But I think I met Dimebag and all them, but that's, you know, a long time ago. You know, that's crap. That's, you know, 33, 34 years, 33, 34 years ago. And then I saw Priest. I saw them at the Allen Center in Allen. I never saw Sabbath. I saw Ozzy at the Bronco Bowl in Dallas. It's a converted bowling alley. I think it closed down in 2006 or 2007. But it was they had a lot of concerts there. I saw Pat Benatar there. I saw Ozzy. I want to say Randy Rhoads was his guitar player. It was, I think it was '05 or '04. but I'm not. Maybe it was Zach Wild. It might have been Zach. No, Randy Rhoads was dead. Yeah, that's right. It was Zach Wild, but he was incredible. I've seen Iron Maiden a lot. I saw their Live After Death when they did that album at Long Beach. No, I'm sorry, I did not see that album. I saw it a year or two later, somewhere in time. And unfortunately, I bought all three tickets to all three dates for that. And I thought it was like the Grateful Dead, where they would play different set songs on each show, but they repeated all three exact same songs, exact same days. So I was disappointed. Day three, I was not happy with day three. Day one and day two were, pretty hyped up, but day three, I was not. It was a Somewhere in Time tour. And I did not get to see Slayer. I wasn't really a big Slayer fan. I love reggae. I saw lots of reggae. I saw Bunny Wailer. I saw Eka Mouse. I saw never saw Bob. Never saw Peter. Um, never saw Steel Pulse, which I did. Oh, I love Steel Pulse. They're one of my favorites. I listen to them a lot when I walk. I'm a really big fan of Steel Pulse. I listen to their live music quite often. I saw Lemmy with Motorhead at the SMC. I saw what's his name from Waco. He's a big hunter. Got a big old mustache. I can't believe I can't remember his name right now. I saw him live at the SMC as well. Um, Not the Red Rocker, not Sammy Hagar. I know there's a lot of people out there like shaming me because I can't remember who I saw, but he's Ted Nugent. Ted Nugent, Stranglehold. So he was incredible, and I saw him in his infancy as well. That was probably I don't know, 84, 85. I saw him at the SMC. I think I saw Motorhead 85 or 86 at the SMC. Um, that's San Monica Civic Center. And yeah, so I've seen lots of people. I've seen Metallica a few times. They're great. Um, I've seen so many bands. I really can't even count how many I've seen. I've seen lots of local bands. I've seen, up and coming bands. I've seen them in LA. I saw them in Dallas. I'm a big music fan. So I honestly I don't play a lot of guitar like I used to. I played on and off through the '90s and early 2000s. And I probably know two, three, 400 songs. Just anywhere between 20 and 60 seconds of a bunch of different songs. Some songs I know half of them. Maybe I don't know 30 or 40 of them. But if you don't play, you forget, and I got to practice. So just like Spanish, I know a lot of Spanish. I learned Spanish in LA, and then Texas. You know, I still practiced it a lot. So I'm not fluent. I don't tell people I'm fluent, but I can converse with most people in Spanish. But I'm not fluent. And in Minnesota, I'm not going to use it at all because I live in Duluth, Minnesota. So nobody up here is going to speak Spanish. Maybe 1,000 people will. So, but I thought I'd go into some music, talk about some music. I'm a big music fan. I love TV. I can't even go into how many TV shows I've watched in the last 3, 4, 5, 6 years. I worked for Massage Envy. I worked from home for a while before that, so I didn't watch a lot of TV in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, in the early 2000s. So from I don't know late 2008, 2007 up until 2015, 16. I worked from home a lot, and I learned a lot about TV movies. I've caught up on so many that I missed out on, when I was growing up, and so I'm pretty well versed in most TV shows now. From my time growing up, and from the mid times, and from the movies. So I like to talk to people about that. Yeah, up here I don't know anyone, so I don't really talk to too much people about that. But I love all kinds of TV and movies. It's trips my trigger. So comments. Highly recommended. Talk about any movies you want. I don't. I always thought I'd be a movie critic because I kind of can judge what's a good movie, what's a bad movie, in my opinion. But I don't watch enough anymore because kind of last year and a half, movies have kind of dropped off the face of the earth because of COVID, and what they have been putting out, is just kind of, I don't want to say subpar, but it's just not up to the standards that the movie industry has had, and I don't know if they're losing a lot of money or what's going on with movie stars and TV stars, and that's way above my pay grade, so I don't really know what's going on there, but I wanted to just fill you in on some music and some stuff. I'm not going to the Minnesota Fair. I wanted to see the Doobie Brothers. They're having their 50th reunion with Michael McDonald. I thought that would be really fun, but I'm going to avoid that because Delta is spreading. I'm fully vaccinated as of May 1st. They say after you're vaccinated, you got to wait 2 weeks to be fully vaccinated, so mid-May. And then after, I think they say 6 months, the vaccine kind of wears off. So whatever that means for me, I think it's mid-October. So I guess another 2 months. But I guess I have, full efficacy for another 2 months. I don't know. We'll see. I go to the. I joined a gym last month and a half, which is rare for me. I've been staying inside for COVID. Just the times we live in, it's unprecedented. I want to get a job, but I'm hesitant just because of the times we live in, and I don't really know. My girlfriend's much older. She has a very good stay-at-home job. She's been with the company for 15 years, and they pay her pretty well. So I do a lot of stuff around the house. I do chores. I take care of my dogs. I do the yard. I do the trash, the recycle. I do chores in the house. I provide, emotional support. I do things, that she needs that, help her get through her day. And then I, get a chance to get away the last 6, 7 weeks and go to the gym. And I go to the gym usually 3 or 4 times a week for about 3 or 4 hours. I do mainly walking on the treadmill, walking on the track that goes around, and do some stretching. I don't really do much high impact. I know I should, but I usually do anywhere between 25 and 35,000 steps a day. Usually do that 3 or 4 times a week. Sometimes I'll do 40,000, depending on the day. But usually I keep it between 25 and 35. Today I only did like 23,000. It was a low day. I think tomorrow I'll get out and I'll make some content videos, and I'll probably do about 25, maybe 30. Maybe I'll go down to the lake. I don't really know what I got planned for tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. 27th. It's the 27th right now. It's 1 a.m. I'm just making some content just to put on YouTube right now, and just kind of fill you in on who I am and stuff like that. Like I said, I'm 51, about 5'9.5". This is gonna be kind of like a weight journey video where I just fill you in on news, current events, weight loss, exercise, music, TV, film, the economy, housing, you name it, crypto, anything. We're going to cover all kinds of stuff on this channel. So I'm not going to limit it to just, 3 or 4 or 5 things. I want to cover everything. So I'm not monetizing this channel. Maybe a year, half a year down the road, I'll learn how to do that. But I'm not worried about that now. They say, when I've watched YouTube a while now, and I never thought I'd do a YouTube, but why not? You know, who knows? What's gonna happen? I don't plan on being famous. I'm not trying to be famous. I'm not trying to get a bunch of people. If people find me entertaining or they want to watch, so be it. But I'm just a regular guy. I've luckily I've experienced an interesting life. I've lived in 12, 13, 14 different states. I've been to about 16, 18 countries. I've lived in another country other than the U.S. and yeah, I've experienced quite a bit. I've got a couple degrees from university. I haven't really acquired a large quantity of assets or value of monetary great value. So I'm just like an everyday common person, So I think millennials can relate to me in their 20s and 30s that, don't have a large amount of wealth, accumulated. Um, it took me a long time until I was in my, almost mid 40s to pay off my credit cards, sell my house and, get out of debt and pay off my university loans and grants and all that stuff, Stafford loans. Yeah, my university was, I don't even know, it was like 80, 90, 100 grand a year. So, and I didn't even know what my major was. I think it took me like 4.5, 5 years. So that's like, it's ludicrous money, you know. Luckily, I was able to get some grants and a little bit of help from my family, but not substantial help. I had literally half of that I had to pay off, which, that's like, what is that? Over $250,000. I mean, that's just ungodly money. So, yeah, life's not easy. I've been dealt some curveballs, some health curveballs, and um, you just got to go with the flow and um, not dwell on the negative. Try to be positive and think about the good things in life. So, a couple of my friends, that are close to me know, I've had some ups and downs, and it's what you how you rebound from that, so it makes you a more powerful person, and try to be a positive individual and have a good outlook on life. So I try to have a pretty good outlook on life and try to be pretty positive about everything. So I thought I'd do a video tonight, and I'll probably cut it short here in a little bit, but I really wish I did it live so I could have like some interaction between people. But it's I think it's about 1:10 a.m. I have two dogs. I have a 12-year-old and about to be 7-year-old dog. They're small dogs, 25 and 26 pounds. And I've had my oldest since he was 4 months old, and my youngest since he was a month old. I got them both in Texas. I've been in Texas for most of my life, about 31, 32 years. Um, So my channel, I have Chad the Walking Man because that's my thing. I've been trying to lose weight and get out there, and whether it's at the gym, walking on the treadmill, or around the track at inside the gym, and then combined with walking outside. But I can't really be outside all the time. There's a lot of YouTubers that do all their videos from outside, and I respect the hell out of them. I don't. I'm probably gonna do most of my videos outside, but you gotta, the factor of the sun. You have to take that in consideration. That you're gonna get. Both my mom and dad have had skin cancer so many times that I try to stay out of the sun if I can. But if I can't, and I'm making content, Yeah, I'm gonna be in the sun, but I got some sunscreen on. Usually, most of the time. Hopefully that helps. Because I didn't wear sunscreen at all when I was a kid, all the way up, through college and into young adulthood up till 40 something. I didn't ever wear any. So of course I've got these blemishes now. And, I'm getting them under the eyes. I'm getting bags in the eyes. Now I'm in my 50s, and I got blemishes on my chest and on my legs now. I'm getting dark spots and stuff. It's not pretty, but so I'm you get old. Um, but I don't have any varicose veins anywhere, thank God, yet. So, but I trim my body, keep it smooth. I don't know what that's called. I guess it's metrosexual, people that trim their body hairs and stuff, because I just don't want to be a hairy beast, hairy back Mary. I don't want to have a bunch. Don't get me wrong. If you're watching this and you've got a lot of hair all over you, a lot of guys like that. I guess they call that bears, or otters, or bears. I don't know how the sayings are, but a lot of guys don't shave any of that. That's like a no-no. So they have like my dad. I know my dad has lots of hair just billowing out of his shirt and coming all up his back and out his ears and everything. I guess the older you get and the more that times go by, I guess it's more trendy to be, more clean cut, and, you know, trimmed. So manscaped, I guess that's what they call. I manscape my whole body, trim it. So, um, a lot of guys don't. A lot of guys don't manscape at all. They just go au natural, and they don't believe in that. But in the big cities, when you are, meet younger people, if you're gay, you meet younger guys. If you're, straight, you meet younger women. They want, to be. You don't want some hairy beast. They don't want some hairy back Mary. They want like a clean cut, muscular, smooth, nice body. So that's just how the times are. you there are some though. Some girls, they like the hairy stuff. Some guys, they like the hairy stuff. You just gotta find them. But from the majority of them, I found they prefer you to be trim or shaved. I don't really shave. I just usually trim my body. Um, it's hard to shave the entire body. It takes hours. But other than that, we'll skip that topic. That's kind of a weird topic to get into. We're just covering different things. I'm going to cover all kinds of stuff in this channel. You name it, we're going to cover it. No body shaming here. You can be 300, 400 pounds. This is a weight loss journey. So, if you're 400, you want to get down to 350, stick with me. We're going to get out, we're going to be about, and we're going to walk, and we're going to talk. And that's the thing. Walk and talk, enjoy life. You don't want to be alone. So maybe at my videos, you can play them. You can listen to me, while you're out and about. And maybe I can entertain you a little bit. But there's no point in you being alone on your journey. I don't want anyone being alone or feeling sad or down. There's too much grief and disappointment going on in the world with all the, famine and the floods and the fires and the pandemics and the viruses and you name it. It's like everybody keeps telling me, I've got an older lady that was a housekeeper in Texas was like, this is the end of time. She kept telling me, this is the end of time. This is just unprecedented. Everything keeps happening. I'm like, I don't know. I mean, it has been, a pretty rough year or two. So I hope it gets better. I hope it doesn't get worse. Got to stay on the positive side and think about the positive. and not dwell on the negative and what's been happening with inflation and gas prices going up and the inflated stock market. Um, housing going up astronomically. Um, you know, we purchased a house up here a year ago. Not even, and it's gone up. Everything's gone up. It's just silly the amount that's gone up. We're gonna have a big dip pretty soon because the rent moratorium's ending, and a lot of these landlords are not hanging on to these properties where they haven't been able to collect money. They're going to unload these properties left and right. They're going to sell them. I mean, there's going to be so much inventory pretty soon. Used cars have been outrageously priced. People are they're going to unload those. All kinds of things. It's just crazy times we're living in right now. I think it's good to have gold. I think it's good to have silver. I think assets, houses are good to have. Hopefully, you bought one in the last year or two and not in the last 6 to 8 months when the prices have spiked, because I think they're going to go down. And I think if you bought something in a year ago or 2 years ago, I think you're okay. I think we're going to see about 20% decrease in the value of homes, unfortunately, all around the country. Certain areas like LA around the beach, San Fran around the beach, coastal areas, water areas around lakes, lake properties, um, beach properties, properties near water, properties like 2, 3, 4 miles from the water. Those are going to retain their value. They're only going to go up. I know my dad's in Florida. I think his place, it's just ungodly. His place is a 3-3. And I mean, it's gone up like, I think 65,000 in like 2 months. Ours in a year's 45,000. I mean, just everything has just skyrocketed. It's just gone up just um, so much. And gas has gone up, everything's gone up, food prices have gone up, restaurant prices have gone up, inflation's gone up. They say the dollar is going to collapse. I don't see that happening. The dollar seems to be still pretty strong nationwide. There's a lot of other monetary capital that's gone down like astronomically. I think there's like 6 or 7 countries that the value of their currency has been debased so much it's not even worth anything. I think um, I don't remember all the countries. I think Nicaragua is one. I'm not sure. Venezuela, I know that's one for sure. Um, I know in Lebanon they're having debasing of their currency there. My mom lived there for a little while in Beirut during the conflict. Let's see. Um, there's lots of countries that their monetary value is debasing. So we got look on the bright side. We got sports coming up. We got football. We got college football starts in 2 days. I think there's 5 or 6 or 7 games. The U.S. Open starts next week. I think next week or the week after. And then college football starts full blown in like what 9 days. Everybody starts playing, and then I know NFL starts in 2 weeks. So whatever that is, 18 days, 16, 17 days. The NFL starts up at full bore, and that'll be fun. Have NFL, you know, NBA's practicing. They're getting ready for the season. Milwaukee did great. Giannis is incredible. They had a big party up here in Wisconsin for that. We're on the border of Wisconsin here. It's 10-minute drive, Wisconsin from Duluth, if that. And so they had a great year. Middleton and Giannis and Drew Holiday, and then they won a gold, just barely. They won by 4 or 5 points in the gold medal game. France was really good. With Rudy Gobert. Um, they had a tough time on their route there, but they won. Um, Batum for France. They had a bunch of NBA players, and I was rooting for Luca, but from the Mavericks, but they missed out and they lost the bronze medal match to Australia. Um, but they had a chance to win a bronze. It was the best that they've ever done. Um, so it's good for him. I know he was hoping to get Dragic over to the Mavericks, but they did a big sign and trade with Miami to Toronto for the Kyle Lowry deal. So I don't think they're willing to let him go. I know they got signed Boban, which is good because he's a big spark plug for the Mavericks. And Porzingis, I know he's the unicorn. A lot of people want him traded because he didn't do much in the last, back half of the season, and in the playoffs he did nothing. And he's, an injury-prone athlete, but I think he's been working out. I saw some videos on him in his home country, Latvia, Lativa, Latvia, and he's getting stronger. Hopefully, he can last the whole season and contribute in the playoffs because they need him. I mean, he's pretty incredible. I mean, when you think about it, he's so tall and versatile, but he's just his knees and ankles and gives out because he's so tall. But he's got a great shot. He can make a 3-pointer from half court. I've seen some NFTs made with him in them. It's pretty crazy. Him and Luca. Luca's NFTs are just off the chart right now. I met Luca at the racetrack in Dallas, his rookie season, and really nice young man. His English is getting better and better each year. But I met him at Mahana and Lemon at the racetrack over there. And I got to talk to him one-on-one for about 2 minutes. He gave me his autograph. And really nice young man. I've messaged him via email a couple times. I haven't heard back from him. Messaged him on Facebook. Haven't heard back from him. I wished him well during the Olympics. So maybe he'll reach out to me. I invited him here if he wanted. But I know he's he's way up there. He's a little above my pay grade. I think he just signed a $207 million max 5-year contract. So, but he's a great kid. So I'm a real fan of Luka. I think he's just a phenom. There's so many people in the NBA that are good. I think I mentioned one of my videos. I was talking about the Timberwolves are getting better, and I mentioned Kevin Durant when I meant to say Kevin Garnett. Everybody knows Kevin Durant didn't play in Minnesota. It was Kevin Garnett. And I can't believe I said that, but I didn't correct myself. But I guess I was just, carrying on and wasn't thinking. But yeah, no, Kevin Garnett's from Texas, University of Texas, where my daughter went, and played in the Supersonics. And then the Thunder took them to the Western Finals when they had Harden and Westbrook. Can you imagine? And they didn't win a title with that team. It was because they're so young, But I mean, think about it now. All three of them are just beyond superstars, and to be on the same team. I remember my dad. We were going to visit my daughter in college back then, and he was like, "Oh, the Spurs. They're gonna win. They're gonna go there." Because it was the Spurs. The Mavericks were really good, but it was the Spurs. They dominated, all the time. And Lakers were good. They had Shaq and Kobe and stuff. But the Spurs were just the team. And my dad was like, "Oh, the Spurs, hands down." I'm like, "Dad, I'm telling you, this Thunder team. This is their first year together. Up and coming. I think they're going to do some damage. I really think they're going to make the West Finals." And he's like, he laughed at me and stuff, and they did. I don't think I don't think they made it to the NBA Finals, but I think they lost to San Antonio. It was the Lakers. I don't remember who they lost to, but they were exciting. And then they got so good that year that they got offered so much money from other teams that they disbanded the team and went their own way. So yeah, but I've been a Mavs fan for a long time. I can't even imagine. I can't even tell you how many games I've gone to at the AC and at Reunion Arena. I don't know, beyond hundreds. Maybe 4 or 5, 600, maybe around there, maybe 3 or 400. I don't know, a lot. I went to a lot of games, and I really liked them a lot. So, as Cuban has MFFL, Mavs fan for life. So I just wish he would get some help for them. I know the salary cap. He can't. His hands are tied, and God, can you imagine if they just got one superstar in there to help Luca? I mean, Porzingis is good, but if they just got just one superstar. I know that you're saying a year ago or 2 years ago, Giannis wanted to play with Luca, but now that he won, he's not going anywhere. And I mean, can you just imagine if they got one superstar to play with him? I mean, how many titles they'd win? He's that good. I mean, he just needs one superstar. I mean, Porzingis is good, but he's like, I think him and Hardaway are like a third. Hardaway Jr. is like a third or fourth. Tim Hardaway, UTEP, Golden State Warrior. He's one of the top 20 best players ever. But his son has just been phenomenal for the Mavericks, and big Hardaway Jr. fan. But Porzingis, yeah, I don't know. I wish he, could do better, and he hasn't, and I don't know what to think with him. I want him to stay, and I want him to be productive, and I want him to contribute so the Mavericks can go far in the playoffs and at least make the Western Finals. But I don't know. I think they need one big piece. They're missing one big piece, and from now on, for the next 3, 4 years, I think they're going to be, the same, fourth or third or fifth seed in the West, and that's probably like equivalent to a second seed in the East, maybe even a third all the time, second or third, because being a fourth or fifth or sixth in the West is like being a second or third in the East, because the East is a lot weaker than the West, but I don't know. They got to do something there. Mark's got a lot of money. He's a billionaire. He's a crypto genius, and he's a billionaire. But he's got to figure something out. Um, I hope. I love the Mavericks. I like the Cowboys too, but I've gotten beaten down by Jerry over the last 20 years. So I watch them, but I don't hope for championships like I do with the Mavericks. I just kind of watch them because I grew up on them, and in the back of my mind, I hope, but I know they're not going to do anything. Yeah, which is depressing. But there's so many teams in the NFL, it's hard to win a Super Bowl. You know, maybe they'll do it in the next 10, 15, 20 years. I don't see them making it to the Super Bowl in the next 4 or 5 years. I just don't see it happening. Um, but I still like them, and I'll still watch them. And I'll watch a little bit of Vikings up here and the Cowboys, and just doing content. Minnesota Wild's pretty good. They've made it to playoffs. They pushed the Vegas team to the brink, but they lost. Stars made it to the Western Finals last year, but didn't even make it to the finals this year. I think they missed by a game and a half. Um, you know, it's quite a drop off, but I think they had some injuries. Um, so I still like Dallas teams. I'll root for the local teams as well. The Milwaukee teams. I know the Brewers have a chance to maybe go to the NL championship this year against the Dodgers or the Giants. I don't think the Padres have much of a chance anymore. Um, we'll see what happens. I know the Yankees have gone like on an 11, 12 game win streak, so I like the Yankees. I like the Dodgers. We'll see what happens. If the Brewers get down there and the Dodgers aren't in it, I'll root for them. Root for a local team. Um, we'll just see what happens. So, peace out. This is Chad signing out. Gonna load this video. It's about 1:30 a.m. I'll do some content tomorrow. I'll probably do 1 or 2 videos. It's August 27th, 2021, and I'll do some videos tomorrow and hopefully entertain you, fill you in on some news, current events, anything about health, walking, get you active, get you out, get you walking, get you doing something. I'm going to do some outdoor walking videos tomorrow. And more and more content we do, maybe we'll get some viewers. I don't have, maybe 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 viewers a day now. But I'm less than a week old with my channel. I don't think I have any subscribers. Hopefully I'll get, a few this week. Maybe I'll get 10 or 20 in the next week. Maybe I'll get 100 in a month. Maybe 1,000 in 3 months. Who knows? I'll just work on this, putting out content. That's the most important thing. I'm not really worried about making money off of it. Hopefully in time I'm not working, so maybe I can do something with that in the future. But right now I just want to enjoy making content and having fun doing it and talking to everybody out there. Maybe I can meet friends that I've known before that I haven't talked to in 20, 30, 40 years. Maybe I can meet new people that I don't know, people that, of all ages, 20 somethings, 30 somethings, 40 somethings, 50 somethings, 60 somethings, 70 somethings, any age. I don't care if you're 80, I don't care if you're 90, you're watching this, you can relate in any way, even if you're a teenager, whatever problems you have, make comments, maybe we can focus on things that are bothering people. COVID's a hard time. Even though, it supposedly ended after the vaccines in, whatever, May, June. Now the Delta's getting worse. Now we got to revert back to going inside. I don't know. It's frustrating, People like me, we want to go out and work, but, we're afraid. We don't really know what this Delta's doing and how contagious the breakthroughs are, and what kind of a job we can get, and being around a lot of people. So we just want this stuff to end, and it doesn't seem like it's ending. So I think I'm sharing a lot of frustrations that other people are around the world. A lot of people in other countries, a lot of people in this country, a lot of different people in different states, a lot of people in different ages, a lot of people that have to go back to school, a lot of kids that are scared. I feel you. A lot of kids that have to go back to grade school, middle school, high school, college. I think after you're 16 or whatever it is, 13, you can get a COVID shot. So I think you're okay, if you go back to school with a mask, and you gotta go back to school. I mean, you gotta learn in the classroom. The amount of stuff you're learning online, it's half of what you can learn when you're in school, and you got to get that schooling in. just to help build a foundation for your knowledge and growth as an adult. You gotta learn the basic skills when you're a kid about school. Go to school every day. Don't miss school. Don't skip school. That's silly. That's your responsibility. You're supposed to be there, so don't skip. Uh, I'm not out here to preach or anything. I'm just telling you, what everybody knows. That's common sense. So peace out. Like I said, I'm not going to do any more. I'm at an hour and 10 minutes. Most of my long videos are an hour and 12 minutes. Some are an hour and 13. I think I did one that's an hour and 14. But my long videos, I like to keep them between an hour and 10 and an hour and 15 minutes. This is at about an hour and 11 minutes. So I just like come in, say hello. We'll go ahead and load this up to YouTube so you guys can see it. And then we'll make some more content tomorrow. Peace. We'll talk to you tomorrow. See you then.